our customers. Anyway, that shows that we are now very much interested to help and see how we can, your number 4 priority, clean energy in the country, how we can take this opportunity together. So we strongly believe in that. We have also good connections with Hydrobox. Hydrobox is smaller scale, the hydropower that we will combine also with biomass in the future and other solar energy to make it smart grids. That's actually the essence of our dream in Kenya. So, and we strongly believe in that because we love Africa, and we learned also in Kenya, Hakuna Matata.
Thank you very much. Jolie Stote.
We've built an investment portfolio of now almost 100 million euros in your country, and I was very happy to hear your priorities. Agri-value business. We are invested in Limbua, export of macadamia nuts. Those who know Kenya very well know Dairyland. Dairyland is produced by Glacier. Glacier is one of our investments. Natural products, in this case dairy farming. That's a very important one. Those who know energy and telecoms, POA Internet is one of our investments in Kenya, which you probably know very well. And then one of your policy priorities, clean cooking, burn cook stoves, is also one of our investments. So I fully support what you said about Africa being an opportunity, and an opportunity of mutual beneficial partnerships. We invest directly in Kenyan businesses. We invest indirectly through funds, but also we travel with and we work together with a lot of CEOs that are here around the table, with Belgian companies. There's a lot of partners that we work with. We're currently working with Sirona, we're working with Vinke, we're working with Puratos and others to share that ambition. So let's try indeed to double investments in Kenya, in Kenyan businesses, and in joint ventureships between Belgian and Kenyan companies. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much for all that you're doing. In fact, just for your information, your staff, your people were in my farm this morning. There is already an agreement for us to sell milk to your organization. So I hope we conclude that. We can have a side chat later. Okay, let's proceed.
Thank you, Excellency. Then we'll have Steve Pope, and then we'll conclude this session with Mario. Then, Your Excellency, with your permission, maybe you can say something about what they have spoken. Then we can go to the next group, sir. Thank you.
So, good morning, Your Excellency. I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting you a few years ago in Mombasa when I was Group Head of Trade at DHL. We were looking at value addition in tea. That's still going, and I've heard we've moved into coffee. So we've been working together with CS Kagwe on an industrialization program for Kenya's agriculture value addition. So we're starting with tea, coffee, avocados. Tea, coffee is value addition, packaging, branding, exports with the issues with the Middle East, etc., helping find other markets. Avocados, in other words, we're looking at cold chain supply. And I've been talking to a number of people here, which is interesting. So what we've got is we're starting with a $250 million blended finance program. It's zero sovereign debt. We heard from CS Kagwe's office they want this, Kenya would like this as a flagship for the World Bank's AgriConnect program. So we've already notified the World Bank of that intention as well. We're building a consortium already. We have African banks, Kenyan banks involved as well, a number of experts inside Kenya. The other element that you raised as well, which was really important, I remember you saying at the time in Mombasa, I want 60% of tea to be value addition. So this is an area that we're really, really focused on. It's specifically targeted at employment. So we're looking at between 20 and 30,000 direct jobs, 20,000 on top. We're looking at between 180 and $250 million in terms of additional revenue by 2031. So it's a long way towards your billion dollars. So that's where we are now. We're hoping to be in Nairobi in the next few weeks. We have a number of people waiting to see us. We're just waiting on the confirmation from CS Kagwe in his office. But I know that, so that's where we are so far. So thank you for the opportunity, and we're really excited about this. And for those investors out there looking for an opportunity, this is a really golden opportunity. And I remember our discussion we had last time. This fits exactly with your priorities. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mario?
Yes, please. PCS.
Partnership with Kenyan Ports Authority. I hope you still also remember your visit 4 years ago to the Port of Antwerp.
Okay, yes,
And
I came to the Port of Antwerp.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and in the meanwhile, we have had your the chairman of the Kenyan Ports Authority at our port, and also your namesake, Captain William Ruto, who is the CEO of KPA. Yes. Some things that resonate. What you said is that for us, Africa is indeed trade and not aid. And the volumes between Port of Antwerp and Bruges have been for decades more important between Africa than between the Far East. So that is definitely one thing. And then on the mutual and sovereign equality, in every partnership that we develop with African counterparts, that is essential. How can we build bridges between our two ports and strengthen each other and create together, co-create, co-develop port platforms that are attractive for private investments, that create level playing fields, that offer opportunities that will hopefully contribute to your sharp and aggressive KPIs of by 2030. But just to say, we are actively investing in Africa as well, in port infrastructure, in port superstructure, to realize these objectives. For instance, in Namibia, we are co-developing a port platform for Namibia's green industrialization. That's something you also mentioned, and we're open for that conversation with your government, with the counterparts. The relationships are already there, and looking forward to strengthen and deepen those relationships. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Between us. As I have said, the trade between Europe and Kenya is $335 million. We can take that to $1 billion in a very short time. And we should. And the building blocks for us to achieve that are already in place. There are companies already with a footprint in Nairobi. There are companies that already have experience, and it's not what I am saying, it is what Bio is saying, it is what Oro is saying, and the next company, their personal experience in Nairobi gives credibility to what I'm saying. And as I said earlier, the bigger picture is this. When you look at Nairobi or when you look at Kenya, you are not looking at a country. You are looking at a gateway to a continent. And you will have Kenya and the African continent as your market, but you will also secure your place in Europe using our economic partnership agreement. So it benefits your companies both ways. Into the African market, 1.4 billion people. Into the European market, 450 million people. That combined market is big enough to justify anybody to invest. This is underpinned by three fundamental things. We are a robust democracy. Therefore, we share values with Europe of democracy, rule of law. Number two, we have the economic partnership agreement that does two things. Number one, gives you legal certainty and also regulatory stability. You are sure that that is what your business will be because we already have a solid agreement between Kenya and Europe. And then on the other end, we have also signed the East African Community Treaty, we have the COMESA Treaty, we have the Tripartite Treaty, and we have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Treaty. That also secures your market into the African continent. And then fourthly, we have a financial ecosystem that has the capacity to assist you in doing your business. You've just heard that even the people in the DRC are using Kenyan banks because we have a very well-developed financial ecosystem. And even more, we have a working, in fact, the Nairobi Securities Exchange was the best securities exchange in Africa by way of return. Just look at the numbers. And that guarantees you two things. Number one, it guarantees you that you can repatriate your profits and also that you can exit anytime you wish. So that gives you flexibility on how you can access the capital markets. So again, so that gives us certainty every way that is possible. This morning I was having a conversation with our colleagues at the EU Commission to again fine-tune some of the areas that require fine-tuning. We want to expand the economic partnership agreement to include all the East African countries, and we want to see how we can enhance especially the areas of the digital space. Kenya is the first African country that we are working on digital adequacy. We intend to conclude this by early next year so that all the process outsourcing companies can have direct access to Europe as they have access to the African continent. So again, these are business opportunities that can be exploited for the mutual benefit of Kenyan business people and European business people. And that is why it is important for us to create this understanding so that you know that you are walking into a space that is secure, into a space that understands what business is, and into an area where there is lived experience by European companies working out of Kenya, and they can give you their personal experience of what they have experienced in our country. And so, again, I want to welcome as many of you as possible to either expand the opportunities that you have in Kenya or to set up new opportunities and new investments in Kenya as you look at the wider market that we represent.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Before we go to the next group of speakers, because we still have a bit of time, Your Excellency, allow me with a lot of humility to thank our contact person in Belgium, Baron Olivier, who, Your Excellency, it may interest you that worked with us very closely with the Office of His Majesty King in getting the list of this distinguished gentleman.
Thank you very much.
Allow me, Your Excellency, to thank our CEO of Kenya Invest for working with us, and also people from the mission, the Deputy Head of Mission, Daniel Tanui, Dr. Kaibi, Agracho Atache, and Officers Irene and Mukata, because without them, Your Excellency would not be having this speed. I want to thank them very sincerely for the commitment. Now, allow me again, Your Excellency. Oh, and my sister. Yes. Carlo from KEPSA. Thank you for your continuous support. We look forward to working with you again and again. Allow me now to get another 5 maybe speakers, and I will start with Carol.
I need to also say something about the private sector. The local private sector is looking forward to, for those who are not in Kenya yet, partner with the local private sector, the enterprises. And what they are looking to is joint ventures, co-invest. I think the president really affirmed that we no longer are pushing raw materials out. We are looking into finishing our products, and that whatever we consume is already produced and manufactured in the country. And we also, the private sector in Kenya is looking to go beyond the borders. We are looking to internationalize, beginning with the region and progressing into the continent and to Europe. And we cannot do that alone. We'd like to work very closely with yourselves. The other thing that the private sector in Kenya is looking towards is collaborate on green growth. I think we've talked about geothermal here and digital transformation. It's not something we can now wish away. This is what we are living. We're in the tech revolution. We are mitigating climate. And what we are looking towards with the local private sector is to work with you who are here in Europe, who are here in Belgium, on those 2 areas, on green revolution and in the digital transformation. And then building long-term partnerships and not transactional relationships. And I think those who are already investing in Kenya can attest to that. That those businesses that succeed in Kenya are those that commit for the long haul, that work with local talent, integrate communities, and grow with the market. And finally, with KEPSA and Invest Kenya, we're here to make the introductions that you need. We're here to advise on policy and together invest in Kenya and hold you throughout your investments. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, P.S. Hinga, 1 minute.
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity. But for the first time, there's a platform that fixes it by combining everything you need. Projects, chat, and knowledge in one place. It's all powered by the world's most complete work AI, so you can find answers from anywhere and get work done faster. Introducing ClickUp, the everything app for work.
A very good day from Rob Palmer and Leanne Sanderson, and welcome to Hunterdon Bank Field. The Road to 26 presented by Turkish Airlines. It is Brazil against Egypt. The last rehearsal before the World Cup finals in the United States. Well, this is the Brazilian starting 11. Marquinhos and Ibanez are back together in the centre of defence. Vini Jr. will be roaming down the left-hand side. A big night for Igor Thiago, who has played 3 times for his country and scored. Well, this is their starting 11. We're a little unsure how they will be lining up. There's a suggestion that it will be a back 3. Mo Salah is on the bench. Marmoush of Manchester City will be leading the line. And Brazil in their Borrowed blue. Kick-off. As we're on the road to the World Cup finals of 2026. There is Casemiro hitting the ball long, looking for Thiago, who has been a bit of a sensation in the English Premier League this season with Brentford. Vinny Jr. getting on the front foot, getting the Brazilian supporters onto their feet as well.
And I feel like he deserves his opportunity. There was a lot of talk about João Pedro not being selected. He's had a brilliant year in a really underperforming Chelsea side.
Here you go, Brazil, immediately trying to get Thiago into that. Any suggestions that this is a friendly had gone out of the window? Two sets of completely committed players.
Yeah, this is great press in the midfield as well. Lovely little ball from Paquetá. You see exactly what he was trying to do, and I think Egypt recovered quite well there to just usher it out.
His traditional three-piece suit, the waistcoat on there as well. There is Vinny Jr. trying to lay the ball off to Thiago, and Brazil pleading for a penalty. Paquetá claiming that he was being held back in the area.
Yeah, again, giving away the ball very cheaply in those areas from Egypt. You can see they're trying a little touch. I mean, that's not a penalty. I think it's a correct decision from the referee. And that's exactly the space, Rob, that Vinny Jr. is very good at occupying on that left-hand side. Most people at times have seen him also playing that number 9 role. He can do equally both very, very well, but I just think he's better coming from a little bit deeper, and it does make a difference.
Lovely turn from Zico. They've got a spare man on the far side of the field as well. It's Trezeguet, can hit them in from distance. Looks to go wide to Fatu and flashing across the face of goal. Not far away from Marmoush, and that is what Egypt are so good at.
This is a really good break here. I mean, that ball has to go